Come spend a week in my sewing room with me and Chewy. Here's everything that happened. There were beautiful fabric deliveries, a load of new Vogue and McCall's patterns were delivered. I whipped up my second version of McCall's 8553 and I'll show you how I skipped the puff sleeve. Plus, there was just enough time to make a quick toile of McCall's 8569 by Laura Ashley, and I'll show you a sneak peek of my first Fabric Godmother ambassador project. Hi, I'm Amy and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, thanks for watching. I hope you've been having a good week. Well, to make it a little better, I'm giving away 3 pattern vouchers to sewdirect.com. I'll pop the code up on the screen shortly, so make sure you keep watching. 3 lucky people can use the code appearing on the screen now to claim a free pattern at sewdirect.com. Act fast, because after 3 individual people have used the code, it'll expire. But they don't all disappear straight away. I've seen it take up to 24 hours for all the vouchers to be claimed. So you can still be in with a chance, even if you're a bit late to watching this video. So try your luck and please let everyone know in the comments if you were successful. And if you weren't lucky this time, maybe subscribe so you don't miss out on future posts and more chances to win. Back to the video. Minerva's been working with lots of brilliant collaborators on fabric collections recently, and this cherry bow print stripe by What Abby Made is so gorgeous. It's print on demand, so you pick your base fabric and then they print to order. And I chose Visco Challis for that lovely drape and softness, and I can't wait to sew this up. Then I saw Grid Fabrics had this pink and red stripe fabric. It feels like a cotton linen, and I really loved the vivid colours. So I think I'm going to have some fun playing with the stripe directions, maybe something similar to my ribbon rose stripe play dress. I'm very excited. Also, I had a Sew Direct order arrive this week. Vogue have a new collection that's out in the VIP club at the minute, and I chose Vogue 2137. I love this coat. I love the raglan sleeve, the hem vent, classic little double-breasted coat. I'm not 100% sure about the sleeves. They might be a bit big for me. I might taper those down a bit, but it's so gorgeous. I'm very excited for that one. Then V2143 by Diane von Furstenberg. It's a knit polo neck dress with a lovely 70s collar. I think I can make this work for me. All the other polo dresses I've seen are very hip hugging, which I do not want in the slightest, so I just love the flared skirt. V2127 is actually a top and a skirt together. I think I'd probably just make the top. I love the big sleeves, the trim details. Yeah, I would make this version rather than the bow neckline version, but the skirt is very cute too. I think this whole pattern is going to be really popular when it goes on general sale. M8602 is McCall's version of like a Chloe inspired baby doll dress. I like the double tie bows and the detail across the front. I'm not sure if Empire line will suit me, but I'm intrigued, so I've picked it up and I might give it a go. This McCall's 8569 Laura Ashley dress has been really popular with a big pointy collar, pleated front. I love those sleeves. I'd probably make a dress version, but with long sleeves, but maybe the shorter hem skirt. Yeah, I can see that coming together very soon. Then I picked up a quick basic skirt pattern. This is quite an old design number, McCall's 7981. But I want to make this skirt because it has, there's no darts in the front. A nice flared shape. I think that's going to be great for winter in either plain or plaid wool. I'm going to be on the hunt for some nice fabric at the next Minerva sale event. And then this M8620 is another Laura Ashley pattern. It's pretty new. I really liked a pleated blouse that I saw in the latest Downton Abbey movie. It looked just like UB without the collar, and it was made in crepe. And I also like the square bibbed version, but again, I would make that without the collar. I mean, View C is cute too. All 3 versions, super cute. Loads of options in there, different constructions. Yeah, I'm looking forward to making that one. At the weekend, I went for lunch and cocktails with some girlfriends at The Alchemist. It's a cool place with magic potion inspired drinks and gorgeous decor. And I've been hankering to make McCall's 8553 again, but in a lighter weight fabric, and decided to put all my other projects on hold so I could dive straight in. As a reminder, this is my first version, made in a very heavyweight sateen. And as I said at the time, I just didn't think the big puff sleeves suited my small shoulders, or at least I felt swamped in them. It didn't make me happy. So I evaluated the sleeve, and given how much work has gone into the drafting to slash and spread it into a puff, it would take a really long time to undo that on the original pattern piece. So I decided to pick a sleeve from a different pattern that would fit into the existing armhole. I measured the seam line for the front and back armholes, then I subtracted 1.5 centimetres from each, and then also added the numbers together. You're removing that 3 centimetres, 1.5 centimetres each, to account for the shoulder seam. Don't measure the armhole edge, that's the seam allowance, not the seam, so you've got to measure the seam line. Next, I pulled out a couple of patterns to try, but I actually hit the jackpot on my first option. I made New Look 6707 quite a while ago, and it has a sweet sleeve with a gathered hem finished into a cuff, similar to the M8553. And when I made it, I folded out the pleats on the pattern piece sleeve cap and taped them down into a smooth sleeve cap. The total length of that sleeve cap matched the measurement I needed for the McCalls. So the next check is then comparing the front and back armholes. You want to walk the bodice front and the sleeve cap front pattern pieces together along the seam line. So you're roughly matching the raw edges as you go. Start at the underarm and see how similar the curves are. Ignore any notches and keep going up to the shoulder seam point. So obviously there's the seam allowance as well, but remember where the shoulder seam point is. The dot on the top of the cap should be within 0.5 centimetres of the shoulder seam point, aka 1.5 centimetres down from the edge. 0.5 centimetres could be easily adjusted for, but more than that would be an absolute pain to reshape the sleeve. Then do the same for the back bodice and the sleeve cap back. If they all match, you're good to go. My fabric is a linen viscose mix fabric, very floaty and lightweight. It has a teeny bit of stretch which makes it extra comfortable to wear, and I used a plastic lightweight zipper so it doesn't weigh down the front in a contrast hot pink. This is the same batch of zippers as my coral pink zip on the last dress. I also added elastic to the back waist seam to make it fit a little closer. It was so fun to wear out with my black leather Mary Jane shoes. They have little pearl floral buckles, and my handmade leather handbag. Since I had a little bit of time left this week, I made a toile of that Laura Ashley McCall's 8569 bodice. So it's a bit too tight at the waist. It's a bit too high at the neck. I've roughly marked on in pen where my collarbone is, so I need to lower that so the collar will sit at my collarbone. The bust darts are too low, so that's not helping. But yeah, I like where the V finishes the open portion. I like the pleats. I think it's a bit big in the back armholes, possibly, but I need to put a sleeve in to check. It's got potential. And last but not least, I promised you a peek at my first Fabric Godmother ambassador project. Check out this beautiful amethyst winter broderie cotton. Yes, I'm a sucker for an eyelet. That's all for now. I hope you've enjoyed this video more than Chewy has. She's been looking out the window. But yeah, I'm so pleased you're all here, and I'll be back again soon. Happy sewing. Good girl.